fall of Knix, a teacher's trial. Episode 11. The Boy Who Woke Up. The room was silent except for the steady beeping of machines. Zita lay still, his chest rising and falling with mechanical precision. His body had healed faster than expected. The bruises faded. The swelling went down. But his eyes had stayed closed for weeks. Doctors called it a stress-induced shutdown. His brain had retreated into itself after the incident. Too much anger, too much shock, too much pain. But on the 13th morning, Zita opened his eyes, slowly, blinking at the ceiling. The world was blurry, white and quiet. He heard a chair move. Then a voice, his mother's. "Zita? Zita, doctor, he's awake. He's awake." Nurses rushed in. Machines were checked. Lights flashed. Zita said nothing. He just stared. The days that followed were filled with tests and questions, but he barely responded. He ate slowly, moved slowly, spoke only when asked. The once arrogant, loud-mouthed boy who used to control classrooms with fear had gone quiet. It was like someone had turned off a switch inside him. One evening, as his mother sat beside him holding his hand, he finally spoke. "Mom." She looked up, eyes wide. "Yes, Zita, I'm here." He turned his head slowly. "Did he die?" The question was like ice in the room. His mother's eyes filled with tears. "No, he's in prison." "But you almost died, Zita." Zita blinked slowly. "But I didn't," he said. "No, you didn't." A long silence passed. Then quietly, Zita asked, "Did I hit him first?" His mother hesitated. "Zita, this isn't the time to talk about that." Zita turned away. "I remember." He began to see flashes, his hand flying, the sound of the slap. Knix's eyes, the punch, the pain in his chest, then the darkness. But what hit him hardest was something else, something from earlier. Knix's words before it all went wrong. "You can be better than this, Zita. I see something in you." Why had those words stayed with him? That night, when the nurses left and the lights were dimmed, Zita sat up slowly and looked out the window. For the first time in his life, he felt small. Not because someone had beaten him, but because he had looked at a man who tried to help him and returned kindness with disrespect. Suddenly, tears fell from his eyes. He didn't even wipe them. He just cried quietly. Because for the first time, he understood what he had done. And yet, the man he had hurt was the one in prison. The next morning, Zita did something unexpected. He asked to see a priest. Then he asked for a notebook and a pen. The nurse raised a brow. "What for?" "I need to write something," he said. "I need to say sorry, even if it's too late." It's strange. When people treat you like a god, you forget how to be human. But when you lie in silence for days, hearing only your own breath, you start to hear what your pride tried to hide. Zita's Journal, July 14th.
You have not subscribed to my channel yet. I beg you, subscribe. It will not cost you anything to subscribe. Please, subscribe.
Episode 12. The Letter That Reached the Bars. The sun broke through the clouds that morning, casting streaks of gold across the prison yard. Knix sat on a low bench, his back pressed against the rough concrete wall. His eyes were tired, but his mind was alert. Ever since the journalist Mariam visited, something inside him had shifted. A quiet strength had begun to rise. He was still in prison, still forgotten by the school, still unsure of his future. But now, he had hope. "Mail," a warder called, walking along the hallway. Most inmates ignored him. Mail rarely came, especially for the poor. But Knix stood up, more out of routine than expectation. To his surprise, the guard paused in front of cell 9. "Knix Emmanuel?" Knix stepped forward quickly. "Yes, sir." The guard handed him a sealed envelope. It was neat, clean, and had a school emblem on the corner. Knix's hands trembled. He returned to his spot and stared at the envelope for a long time. The name written in blue ink shocked him. From Zita Nkemdilim. The room around him seemed to disappear. Knix carefully tore it open and unfolded the letter. Dear Mr. Knix, you probably don't want to hear from me. I wouldn't blame you. I don't even know where to start. Every time I try to write, my hand shakes. Not because I'm scared of you, but because I'm scared of what I've become. When I opened my eyes in that hospital bed, I remembered everything. The slap, the anger, the pain, and your face right before you hit me. I saw something. You were hurt, not hateful. You were pushed, not wicked. You tried to help me. Even in that class, you were trying to reach me. But I was too full of myself to listen. Too proud, too poisoned by how people always let me get away with everything. You said I could be better, that I had something inside me. You were the first teacher to say that. I didn't deserve those words, not then. Maybe not now, but still. You said them, and now you're in prison because of me. I told my mom I wanted to write this. She didn't want me to. She said lawyers would be angry, that it might mess up my case. But I don't care anymore. You need to hear this from me, not a paper, not a court. I'm sorry, sir, truly, deeply. I am sorry. I want to change. And I hope, wherever you are when you read this, you'll find it in your heart to forgive me, even if I haven't earned it yet. Zita Nkemdilim didn't realize he was crying until drops stained the bottom of the letter. He folded it carefully and held it to his chest. Around him, the prison noise carried on, men shouting, guards yelling, someone coughing violently. But inside Knix's heart, there was a silence so pure it felt holy. Later that day, Samuel saw him sitting alone with a strange smile on his face. Good news? Samuel asked. Knix simply nodded. The kind that doesn't free your body, but frees something deeper. Samuel patted his shoulder. That's the one that lasts. When the person who hurt you most is the one who dares to say sorry, you realize forgiveness isn't weakness. It's a second chance at peace. Knix's diary, July 15th,